Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, about 7:15, 7:17 in the morning. Got about 13 minutes to market open. I'm just doing a quick analysis. Um, you know, I really wasn't even sure I was going to be trading today. Had a really long day yesterday on a road trip for a show with my band, and got in about 1:30 in the morning. Uh, Offloading gear after a 3 hour drive out to the venue and a setup, and then playing a 90-minute show, and then tearing it all down and packing it up and driving it all the way back. Another 3 hour drive back home, and then offloading the truck and getting everything into my garage until I can get it into storage later today. We don't have a show again until Friday, so we'll have a little bit of time to settle in and recuperate. However, that being said, I really wasn't sure I was going to try trading today because given that level of exertion yesterday and uh, mental and physical output, just didn't know if I was going to have the energy to do anything today and have the kind of focus that's needed for this sort of trading today or any day for that matter. Anyway, given what that is, my puppies would not let me sleep in and get my proper rest. So here I am taking a look at this. I'm still not sure I'm going to trade today, but I am definitely going to observe what's going on. If I see an obvious setup, I might take something. But for right now, I'm just doing a quick analysis and checking what the day might bring. And based on what we're seeing from yesterday, we still have some imbalance right here from yesterday or from 2 days ago. Looks like we had our level down, getting into filling some of that, some equilibrium. I remember yesterday we had talked about the fact that I had a bullish daily bias because everything is still on an uptrend. And for the most part, it still is. What we're seeing, however, is as the day was ending yesterday, or in the later part of the day, things began moving sideways. We were getting to our all-time highs. I believe these were all-time highs. No, I believe all-time highs are up here around 26. Okay, so not quite to all-time highs, but getting back into some highs. And you can see here we've got a bit of a open area getting to these liquidity points. There's excuse me, some liquidity points just down here. And then, of course, in the 1 hour time frame, we have this fair value gap here that we were talking about. Same thing here that we could be dipping into. But what concerns me is that we've been trading sideways for most of yesterday during New York session, and then again, what appears like what we got going on for Asian and London session. So if I had to take a bias today, I would say that I'm probably more bearish on what's going on here. Technically, we're still in an uptrend, so we could see things push higher. Um, Again, I'm more or less just going to observe what's going on, not really looking to take any major trades. At least at this point, I don't have any real intention to take any trades, but I think what I will do is at least set a mental bias on what I think is going to happen. And as I was saying, in my experience, when you see things begin moving a little more sideways like this, generally speaking, my observation has been is that's usually a cap on what's been going on in a trend. And then what we see is, as we see a trend moving up and moving up as it trades sideways, we usually see a drop again. So today, just for today, I still think we're in an uptrend. There's no indication that we've broken structure or we've actually moved to a downtrend. But I do believe, at least for today, in the early opening minutes or hours of the day, we're probably going to see a push up into a liquidity sweep at these highs. We might even see a push up into these highs in the early trading. um, but I'm really seeing that we're likely to flush down, test this fair value gap in both the S&P and the Nasdaq. We'll see what happens there. We could come down and create some equal uh, move, making up for this large move here, and then a move back up, or at least something where we see from here to this high, we're going to see a test into equilibrium. Right now, we saw it come down, come back up. This sideways action just doesn't have me confident that we have any specific thing going on other than, as I mentioned before, my experience, I'm seeing that we've seen this dip down and test this imbalance right here. So I think that's really what today's going to hold. I'm just going to observe. I don't really feel that I've got the full mental capacity right now to really discern a good trade. However, I am going to observe. Like I said, if something really presents itself and becomes really obvious, then I will probably take a trade on it. So, with all that being said, the only other observation I have that gives me any kind of indication on what the day will hold is as we began to come down and sweep and began a new uptrend, we see we have higher highs and higher lows. Even though this one dropped down a little bit, we did not drop down and break structure below this low. So we're still moving up in an uptrend. However, what we are seeing is an SMT divergence on this 1 hour right here. We have, excuse me, we have a high from the London highs dropping to a lower high right here, and we have this high moving to a higher high up here. So we see a divergence. So what I'm speculating is we're going to have, like I said, a push that comes up into sweeping the London highs, maybe coming up into previous London highs and Asian highs, which sit right at the same level, an area of resistance, liquidity sweep, and then a push down into perhaps some equilibrium here or something that gives us a significant move as a retrace, if you will, and then maybe a push higher. Given that we had some red red folder news today with regards to I forget what it was. I think it wasn't consumer price. It was let's take a quick look here while we've got 6 minutes to whoops, wrong one. Here we go, February 10th. There we go. Retail sales. We're showing things not quite as great in the retail sales area as it was. So, there might be some sentiment based on that. That's going to show the liquidity sweep here and then a push down. If nothing, then to help rebalance out the imbalances in both here. So anyway, that's my bias for today. I'm going to do a lot of observing. I'm just not sure about a trade at the moment. So let's just see what it holds. We got 5 minutes to market open. I'm just going to clean up the chart a little bit and get ready to trade. And we'll see where the day takes us. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we created a pretty hard drop here, which is working its way to rebalance. So I'm still thinking there's going to be a good liquidity sweep up through here. Might push to here. So we'll observe what's going on there. off these New York highs from yesterday's session just gives me all the more confidence that we're going to be working up to here for a liquidity sweep. Yeah, I got a lot of cleanup here to do. Oops. Looks like on the S&P, London session took out all the Asian session highs and lows. But still, it's going to be an area to look at if we're targeting profits. Looks like it didn't quite take out the lows on the Nasdaq, but still, it's a pretty good magnet for either a liquidity sweep or actually, I'm not thinking a liquidity sweep. I'm thinking it's going to be a profit target. Given how close we are to the London highs and New York session previous day highs, I'm still holding very strong with my bias. Okay, less than a minute to market open. We got some low time frame areas of liquidity here. Yeah, still observing this SMT divergence right here. One up, one down. So I'm thinking that if we don't head down immediately, we're definitely going to sweep here and then target down here. Okay, 10 seconds to market open. Yep, heading up to the sweep. This looks like a lot of sideways chop. Really just sit tight. Move to the 1 minute here real quick. Yeah, there's not a lot this is telling us right now. I'm going to go back to 5. I'm sitting tight. I'm going to watch the chop. I'm a little jesty today. Voice a little rough. A little bit of nasal congestion. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, sorry, boys and girls. Oh, looks like I'm hiding out here, and my deal didn't have my camera on. Bear with me. There, got some light on the subject. There we go. Good morning. Yeah, we're chopping around pretty hard here in the market opens. And we're seeing another divergence develop here as well, which, excuse me, now we're seeing it the other way. We're observing something that looks like it's testing here, but dropping here. So whether we take out these highs right here to have a market manipulation, or if we just start heading down, maybe manipulate down this way and then head up, definitely we're chopping in between. So there's really nothing to look at here at this point. They're fighting it out pretty hard. Oh yeah, good God, that's a lot of chop right there. Yeah, the way this is flagging, I still think we're going to try to take out London highs and previous session New York highs before diving lower. But there's no place to get a good entry with any confidence. I mean, literally, you could be chopping in any direction still. No, nothing's certain. So totally leave it alone until we get a decision. There's nothing to even speculate on right now. This is just shaking out a bunch of people that have an idea what they think is going to happen without giving them any kind of confirmation. Maybe maybe it's good I decided not to trade today. There's still nothing here. We're getting a little bit of push down, which is really interesting that we're not moving toward a manipulation right away. So be interested to see what market sentiment is causing this to chop so much. Usually the market makers love to get a manipulation out of the way so they can start making a move, but might just be trying to shake out a bunch of speculators like myself, which is why I'm not trading right now. This is way too easy to get shaken out. I'm going to go back to the 5 minute. There's nothing to look at here right now. Got to see a good move first. Yeah, look at this. I mean, it's not giving us anything. We're getting a whole lot of nothing right now. All right, first 5 minute candle was formed. Now we're looking into our next. We did get a a bearish candle, um, basically a break of structure on the 5 minute for the Nasdaq. So that gives me an indication we are probably going to head south on this to fill the imbalance. But I also see something else here. I don't know. That SMT divergence is giving me the feeling that we're going to be definitely looking bearish, but to what extent, I don't know. I mean, technically, this is our high right here because the other high has not been established yet. And we just came down and barely touched equilibrium. So, we could still push to those highs. See, we're touching equilibrium again. Not quite breaking below it, but we definitely have a break of structure too. So I'm going to move down to the 1 minute, see if there's something there. Yeah, we got a break of structure. We're definitely in a downtrend on the 1 minute. So there we go. And if this candle finishes out, I'm going to go down to the 1 minute here. And yes, we have a break of structure here. So that's our continuation confluence. I'm going to take a quick trade and just, oh, did I profit on that? I've just taken a quick scalp and I think I lost on that one. I don't know. Even if I did, I think I'm doing it just to say I traded today, to tell you the truth. 25 bucks. I'll take it though, because it's trading. I'm not, like I said, I'm not even going to try stuff today. This at least gets me through saying that I traded today. So it could be that the market manipulation is trying to get down to London lows, but S&P's got a lot further to go than the Nasdaq. So today's just a weird one right now. There's just nothing that's giving me any confidence. So I'm sitting tight. I think we are going to eventually get a pretty hard push to the upside, especially because if we are in some kind of sideways movement, we have this range that we're playing with in here. You can see here we've got this range right from about these highs roughly to about these lows roughly, and we seem to be bouncing around in between there like a ping pong ball. So, same can be said for here. It's just a whole lot of sideways action right there. So I think really what we'd be looking for is some kind of breakout beyond that. We need to find a liquidity sweep somewhere outside those lines with a break in the other direction, or something just breaking out of that and just flushing. And that was kind of my bias for today, was going a little more bearish, given that this sideways market structure right now is historically just created a dump to fill any kind of market imbalance from previous sessions or previous days, which we clearly did see. So, but we just don't have a lot of market action going right now. So, with that being said, I'm moving back to the 5-minute time frame because it's just a bunch of back and forth right now. Yeah. And by no means a market expert, so I am not going to say that anything's going to specifically happen one way or another, even based on my observations. I mean, right now, opening range is even inside London session. So until we have something that looks like a specific market manipulation or liquidity sweep, there's nothing really to look at here. I keep saying that over and over again. So hopefully anybody else learning is seeing the same thing I am. I don't know if some true gurus or experts out there see stuff that I don't. But this doesn't look like it's really making any move that has any significant effect at the moment. Sorry, boys and girls. Not sure what's creating that, but there we go. All right, we got our first move into some area of liquidity, tagging into and touching some London lows. So, I mean, to tell you the truth, I'd like to see a sweep into the Asian lows to really just make a statement that that's where the liquidity sweep is going, especially because we have this divergence going on between the S&P and NASDAQ. I mean, we had a divergence going one way, now we have a divergence going the other way. So this kind of chop just is offering zero confidence in any kind of specific move, at least for any of the strategy or any of the thing that I'm looking at. I mean, really, if we're dealing with any kind of chop right now, I'd probably be looking for something coming out of this liquidity sweep in NASDAQ that makes up for the drop that we saw here on these in the opening session. That's probably what I'd be looking for. Okay, so we did now take out some Asian lows. So let's see if we continue. I'm going to drop to the 1 minute, see if we have anything worthwhile looking at here. All right, so whoops, not the 1 hour, the 1 minute, boy. There we go. Okay. So now what I'd be looking for is we've got a fair value gap here. I'd be looking to see if we inverse this fair value gap. I'm going to undo this because we broke through there, so equilibrium doesn't apply. But here on this 1 minute, we might be dipping below. But I'm going to draw out this fair value gap in 1 minute. This is going to be our, it's a small one. We're going to we'll see if we inverse that fair value gap. Looks like we had some equilibrium and down. We might also have equilibrium here and then continue to head down. So I would have to see this fair value gap actually get inversed. And we're definitely in a downtrend here on the 1 minute. Switch to the 5 minute, see what we got. Yeah, we're heading back in. There we go. We could be heading back up. What do we have left on the 5 minute candle here? We've got a minute 12. I don't really see much of a move here because really all we're doing is just touching into equilibrium. So unless I see something where we get a break of structure, I think that's the thing that's going to give me the greatest confidence, because right now we're just looking at equilibrium on the 1 minute. You can see it right here. This could easily just continue downward. See right here? So we're touching into equilibrium and it looks like we're heading down. We inverse the fair value gap, but all that is just an indicator. I'd have to have continuation that that's our sweep and headed up, which would actually be opposite my my original assessment. But this is just a play into equilibrium. This very well could curl over, and it looks like with how slow this is moving, that could very well be what it is. Now, if this does curl over, then we're going to be heading south. That semi-doji style candle is a possible indicator that we could be curling. Yeah, because you can see we've got a fair value gap literally going the other way now. So if we equilibrium a break of fair value gap, we could very well have a good entry here for the downside. I think I might even take that trade. I'll wait for this candle to finish because that's literally the same value gap going the other way. And since we've hit equilibrium, we could be targeting new lows. Nope. Fair value gap. Well, we could still be heading south here, but I'm not going to take it until we actually inverse that fair value gap. Oh, we have a target way down here. Yeah, see what I mean? We're getting back into equilibrium until we actually inverse this fair value gap for sure. I don't think that that's our confirmation and continuance. There we go. This should be pretty decisive now. Should be, I say. If we get the break of structure here plus that fair value gap, that's a good, yeah, it's a good indication we're headed down. Got to just wait for it to close and then we should be good. Then I can take a trade here. If this candle closes below and we have that break of structure, then we're in good shape. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take this trade right here. Well, my stop will be above that high, which would suck because that's going to be a pretty heavy loss. I mean, right now I've got a good setup on the 1 minute. The S&P is the only thing that's worrying me there. We have a higher low. I expected a lower low. I guess we'll see. There we go. We got a bit of a dip there. There we go. That's looking better. All right. I'm going to pull out at this point. I'm not, we really don't have a good target there. Looks like I got a pretty good trade there. All right. I think I'm good with that. Today's a funky day. It's kind of a slow moving market. I think we probably be targeting a move down here. So at this point, I think that move is still there. Just for shits and giggles, I am going to switch to paper and continue the trade on paper and see what that looks like. So switching to paper, I'm going to go ahead and hit the sell right there. I'm going to put the stop right up here above these highs, and I'm going to put the take profit down here. All right. Now we're just going to ride out and see what happens. I'm going to move it to the 5 minute. NASDAQ's dumping pretty hard. The only thing I'm concerned about is the fact that the S&P is just holding it out. You know what I mean? And in the 5 minute, we have this huge down here. So we could just be doing a liquidity sweep and then popping back up. So that has me concerned too. I might very well change this out. Okay. Yep, that's doing that. It hit my stop anyway, so I'm out. That was probably a smart move because we're seeing on the 5 minute here, we're approaching whether it's equilibrium or just a makeup of here. For that matter, I'm just going to play around here. I'm going to go ahead and take a buy on this. And I'm going to put the take profit. I don't know. I know this is all down candles, but I'm going to take this as a range. This is a completely different idea right here. I'm going to take this as a range. And I'm going to set my take profit right here just at equilibrium. Just a little. Whoops. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Just a little something, something. I'll go to the 1 minute. And I'll put the stop loss just below this fair value gap. There. Small stuff. This would just be a quick scalp style. I think it's going to test equilibrium. S&P is so choppy sideways. Oh, look at that. Look how close that got to equilibrium. Yeah, this stuff's all over the place. Today's a tough day to trade, boys and girls. Very tough. I might get stopped out on this. I got to tell you, my paper account is just getting its ass kicked right now with all the test trades I've been taking and just some speculative stuff. Just goes to show you can't be speculative with your trading. If you're guessing just to kind of see where it goes, you're going to get eaten up. And my paper account is a perfect example of that. I mean, look at this. Even though I'm showing that I'm okay, so just barely touching, just barely touching. Look at it, just barely getting to that equilibrium mark. It's almost like it's playing with me. But you can see here, even though I'm showing some profit on this trade, I mean, oh, there we go. Okay, so I hit a take profit there. Um, but you can see here, I'm getting just bathed. So anyway, we have another fair value gap right in here that we're going to be testing on the 1 minute. Again, if I was taking multiple trades, that would be another take profit point. I'm going to go ahead. Again, this is just paper, so I'm just going to load it up and see what it gives me. And I'm going to make I think I'm going to make the take profit. I don't know. What do you think? I'm just going to guess here. Put the stop. Honestly, I don't see a good stop on this. I think I would say below this fair value, but this candle hasn't finished yet. So, to tell you the truth, this is not a great trade. This is speculative as hell. Although on the 5 minute, look what it's doing on the S&P. So if I move to the 5 minute here on NASDAQ, it's probably going to look the same. Yeah, look at that. And it's going to close out above here. So we might actually end up getting this down. I might just close this trade out. Oh, or maybe not. Wow. I'm going to close it out. Well, definitely getting some winning trades here, but it's all speculative. I'm not even going to entertain anything more at this point. I think we're pretty much done for the day. I'm more goofing off than anything else. So it's just so much sideways trading. We had our liquidity sweep on the Nasdaq. S&P is trading all kind of inside the London limits. There's just there's just nothing to go on here. I mean, if anything, this crazy ass S&P divergence right here, let me draw it out for you for those that might be new. Trend line, there we go. So we're talking right here. There's your SMT divergence. That's definitely a bullish SMT divergence. So, and clearly that's the case now because we're seeing we're breaking. This is, I don't know that I've actually seen this kind of thing before where we sweep liquidity on the lows for London and Asian markets here, and yet we miss them here, but now we're catching London highs and possibly New York session highs, but we haven't gotten them here yet. It's just crazy. And you can see it's almost like it's stalling there. It's just that's just nutty. We got some targets further up. I mean, if we, keep moving up here, I think I'm going to move down to the 1 minute and see. I'm still on paper. Yeah, I'm going to. All right, I'm going to have to see a pullback and then something continuing from there. Everything else is just speculation. Okay, so we got a fair value gap here. If this fair value gap is respected and pushed up, then we'll be fine. Hell, I might take a scalp just to get up into the London and New York highs. Oh, I'd get a much better trade if I saw that fair value gap respected, though. You see it here, too. Fair value gap right here. And fair value gap right here. I won't draw them out, but value gap right there. This is just wanting to push. No, I'm going to follow rules on this one. I'm going to follow rules. Definitely want to see that fair value gap respected. Because S&P is already pushed up into its London and New York highs. And could just be a liquidity sweep the way that it was in the inverse just a few minutes ago. So there's nothing I'm seeing there that gives me There's a good move up though for those that wanted to take that move. But if they're trying to get those highs as targets, like if you took the move on Nasdaq and you're trying to get the targets up here, you're like biting your nails right now because it's just not quite getting there. The question is where would you have found the entry here? Maybe break a structure to the upside? That's possible. Okay, see now we're seeing this dip down. So definitely looking at getting into this fair value gap and seeing if it's respected. Excuse me. Yeah, there's really nothing there on the 5-minute to look at for the fair value gap. So it would just be, are we dipping down into here and then respecting it and coming back up? So if we come down, respect it, and it closes outside of that, then I think we have a trade. S&P just makes me nervous because it's dipping down into its fair value gap. Let's draw that one out real quick. All right, so that one dipped down into its fair value gap. This one's dipping down. Let's just wait for the candle to close. Okay, dipping down in. Okay, so far so good. Okay, all right, I'm going to take a trade here. And we'll make the targets in New York highs. And we'll put the stop right below this fair value gap. That would be the trade. It's not bad, about a 1.5 to 1. Something to be done there. Really, first take profit should be London. So I might go ahead and do a take profit if London gets hit. Again, we have another SMT. That looks like it's going the other way. This is a crazy one today, boys and girls. I was speculating a bunch of chop and a drop. Chop and drop. Chop and drop. But price action is just, giving us different indicators. But they're just really fighting each other. S&P and Nasdaq are just arguing, man. They're fighting each other. Yeah, see? Look at that. We got lower lows. I might get stopped. stopped out on this. This might be a reversal. That might be our trend reversal right there. I'm gonna I'm gonna back out of this while I've got profit. Barely any profit. I'm gonna let it dip back down. I can always get back in. I'll wait till this candle closes. Just the way this is going sideways, I think we might get another drop. So I'm going to wait for this candle to close, and I'm going to see what the next candle does. This SMT is just making me think we're going bearish again. Man, we are just chopping in this range. This is really crazy. This is some very, very different stuff here. Yeah, I'm feeling a short coming on. I'm going to watch this candle. If this candle starts entering that fair value gap again and begins closing outside of it, I think we're going to look bearish. Yeah. Wow, this is crazy. If this candle closes above, I think we can be bullish again. If it closes down into the fair value gap or below, we're going to be bearish. I'm going to go based on what I see from this market action on this 1 minute candle. Because I think there is an entry. This candle's going to tell me what's going on. Okay, looks like we're going to get bullish. Yeah, we're going to get bullish. Okay, so we're going to do that. And we're back in. Take profit again is going to be back up here. It's not going to be as formidable as it was. And we're going to take our stop loss down here. So we're going to have really, really tight. This is a really, really tight trade. I mean, this literally could go either direction. Yeah. I'm going to get stopped out. Pretty sure. This is chopping sideways so much. Normally, this would be a good flag indicator. I mean, you'd think it would be, and we'd be heading up. But the way this price action on today's market's going, it just. All right, we're getting up to London highs. I think the bulls outlasted the bears. There we go. Okay, profit target hit. Okay, good. Now with that in mind, and both of them up, I'm in the 1 minute. We could. I think we have further targets up here. Just wait for a little bit of a pullback. And then if we break above that new session high, then there's a good chance we have targets up here. And we keep pushing. I'm going to go ahead and take it. I think we can move to our next target here. I think we found our market direction. That's a pretty good 1-to-1 right there. liquidity sweep, and now we're headed south again. I mean, this has just been such a tight day of price action. We do have targets up here for the S&P as well. I think the Nasdaq is more reachable. It's also been much more volatile, so we've got more volatility, so we've got more movement. I think the Nasdaq is representing more closely the reality of what's been going on. Okay, we're flagging again. And we have a fair value gap. So I think I'm going to move my stop loss to the fair value gap, mitigate losses if we get that far. Maybe just below the fair value gap. I think it's realistic we could dip in the fair value gap a little bit on the 1 minute. But there's a pretty good chance we're moving higher here. All right, this video is getting about an hour, and I know we'd love to see how this trade plays out. But I don't want to keep you guys longer than we need to. I mean, I've already traded on my prop account and got that where I needed to get it. So at this point, I think what I'm going to do is check. There we go. At this point, what I think I'm going to do is get to just watching this trade play out, but no need having you guys sit with me to do it for however long this is going to take. Since the prop account has already done what it is. So I'll call it for now and see you all tomorrow morning. And we'll live to trade another day. Alrighty, boys and girls. You have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.